Hello, this is Gary. I'm endorsing in computer science and mathematics. Right now, I am doing my internship at Inglemoor High School, mostly focused on computer science. What I've noticed about technology use at North Shore, actually, it's quite a lot of technology use, especially in computer science. They have to have computers. There are computers in the classroom. Most of the kids show up with computers, with their own laptops, but not all of them. Someone will use this classroom computer. North Shore School District gives every kid a Chromebook free to use, not free to keep, but free to use. Um, Usually over the summer as well, not just the school year. And I believe that they also can get hotspots. The hotspots might have an income test, but during the pandemic, everybody got a hotspot, income test or no. Everybody got a hotspot on a laptop that was free to use. But since then, they still have a pretty good access to that. We also have the Learning Management System, LMS. They use Schoology mostly, and some other things, Clever, and some other things that they use to track student progress and to help deliver online content. A lot of the content is online still, and it tends to work pretty well for kids, even though they're in person. It's nice to have one place where this is where your assignments are, this is where you turn them in. So, if you like my kids always saying, well, I know I did it, I can't find it. And, looking through all their binders. Nope, it's all right here. This is where you do it. This is where you turn in, click the submit button, done. That tends to be really nice. So maybe that's a dividend we're getting from the pandemic is that we're starting to have some of these things benefit us in just normal learning, even if it's in person. Other technology uses that I've seen, well, we have, of course, the uh, um, the curriculum for computer science is largely online. Some of it was created by my host teacher, but not most of it actually not. Most of it was created or he found it online and put it together for the Java, which with the International Baccalaureate program, C Sharp, HTML, and then we've got a finance class as well. The finance class, I believe that curriculum all came from North Shore School District. What I would like to see done a little bit better, I would like to see more personalized, at your own pace learning experiences. There are a lot of tools out there that could be used to allow kids to move at their own speed. And so you can give kids extra time that need it, and other kids that are able to pick up quickly can move ahead fast. One thing I've noticed, well, actually, I didn't just notice it, my host teacher mentioned it before I even arrived. About a third of the kids are actually way more advanced than anything we're teaching. And yet they're sitting in the classroom anyway because they have to be. One guy even has a part time job where he is writing web services for some company and he's busy doing his work for his company while he's in class. He's already whizzed through all the homework at the beginning of the quarter. That's done. Now he's doing real work. It's like, why is he even here? Why don't we just give him the credit, give him the test, and pass him on? That's not the way it's set up. That's not the way it works. Apparently, with the International Baccalaureate program, you can't do that. You can do that with Running Start. With Running Start, I teach computer science at Lake Washington Institute of Technology too, and we do have placement tests where you can get credit for prior learning. I don't know why we can't do that a little bit better. I am going to present on the ALEC system, which does that for mathematics really well. And my daughter, who's been special needs, I've adopted three kids from foster care, and they all have various needs. But one has with dyscalculia really liked the Alex system, and it was really helpful for her because it moves at its own pace. And I would like to see a lot more mathematics taught that way as well as other course material. What struggles do teachers and administrators share with me regarding the technology use? I think largely what my host teacher shared with me was that he had to come up with a lot of this stuff on his own. There wasn't any real guidance as to, here's curriculum to use. Uh, he was brought in on emergency cert, actually. Had no training, no curriculum, just, okay, here you are, here's your classroom, go. Probably not the best way to learn. So that's probably his biggest struggle. But at this point, he's got the curriculum that he needs and he's following it through. I think that probably the biggest struggle is he's really got three classrooms. You got one third of the kids that are like way advanced, one third of the kids that don't even want to be there. They're there because their parents told them you're taking this class, or they're there because it fit their schedule and they needed another credit. And then you got a third of the kids that do want to be there and are struggling, and that's where you spend most of your time trying to help those kids. So it's interesting to try. It's really like three different classrooms, and that is a bit of a struggle that I think maybe we could possibly use technology to better handle, as well as really different classes and get it set up so that we can actually have kids shunted into content that's appropriate to their abilities and needs. The digital divides. Honestly, I don't see much of a divide at Inglemore because it's as close to a prep school as a public school can be. The median income in that area is like $245,000 a year. An awful lot of people from Microsoft and Google and high tech industry, their parents work there. A lot of 48% of the kids in that school are minority, and most of those are Asian kids coming from either India or China. Other places too, of course, and there's white kids and there's black kids and lots of other kids, but Asian is a very, very big minor, they're still a minority, but it's almost 50-50. And then in the tech classes, I would say it's almost like 75% Asian kids. So they really are the majority in those particular things. But then there are some kids possibly that don't have a lot of experience, don't have a lot of exposure. So that would be a bit of a divide. Certainly there's some, but there are a couple of SPED kids in my C# class, and I would have thought that really wouldn't have worked, but they're able to do the work. They need a lot of extra help. You wind up spending more time with them, helping them get, but they're able to complete the assignments, which was kind of eye-opening for me that no, this really can work. Um, so that is one thing. As far as ongoing teacher education and other tools, I don't see any. I haven't heard of any ongoing teacher education for the teachers that are currently working there. Now, maybe it's just because I'm not plugged in enough to what's going on, but I haven't noticed it. And I haven't seen Tom, my host teacher, I haven't seen him go off and do anything or tell me about anything. He does bring in industry. He does, this is all his own initiative to bring in Microsoft mentors for part of the year for this big Wumpus hunt thing that they do, and to bring in people that can help. Um, so as far as a digital divide in terms of use, I do see problems, and this isn't so much kids that have or have not. This is more kids' own proclivities. You do have some kids that just want to play games or do things on their cell phones when they're supposed to be in the classroom working. So I've got my own ideas about that. They do finally this year have a rule where the kids have to put their phones away, and they get lunch detention if they take them out, or we can give them lunch detention. You still have kids that really want to treat it like a game of cops and robbers every day, that you have to play the game with them to try to keep them from being on their phone, which is not really, I'm not really there to be a babysitter. I want to help them learn. One thing you could do, and this might cost a little bit of money, actually not that much, maybe a couple $100 per classroom. You could put quarter-inch pole chicken wire behind the plasterboard in the walls and in the ceiling of the classroom. Put it behind so that they wouldn't even know it was there. It would act like a giant Faraday cage, and it would keep um, cell phones from being able to connect to the outside world. And then you could also limit to how much they could use the Wi-Fi within the classroom that way too. And the kids wouldn't even know why. They would just know that, gee, my cell phone works when I'm outside the classroom, but it doesn't work when I'm inside the classroom. And if there's some emergency, well, just step outside the door. Your cell phone works out there. That's just my own idea. I think that it would take some, probably would cost quite a bit to outfit every room, but um, it would probably work pretty well. And like I said, they wouldn't even necessarily be aware that it was there. As far as innovative tools, I don't think there's anybody that's opposed to innovation. The real question is, what innovation are you talking about, and what are you planning to roll out? It's much easier on the school district level to say, well, this is the tool we want. We're adopting this tool. Everybody use it and roll that out. Asking teachers on their own to be innovative in the classroom, that's a little more difficult because how do you monitor that? How do you measure that? How do you decide who's being innovative and who's not? As far as innovative technologies, there's a lot of things out there, and schools can spend an awful lot of money chasing, the hot new thing of the day, and then have it turn out to not be as good as something else. I think really Schoology works fine. Canvas, I think I like Canvas better than Schoology. I don't like Moodle at all, honestly. But there's a lot of tools out there that they all can work. It's more what you do with them and how well you organize the classroom. And that's my view of it anyway. Thank you.